Okay, everybody. This is BitWZan, and we are doing Capture the Point, our nonsense debate, which we pit two of our members against each other, and another member will be the moderator. This week, our moderator is Secret Kittty, so she'll be the one handing down the questions.
That's right.
The first contestant is the king of the nonsense, the best in the world, the master of the universe, the challenger, BitWZan, and the champion is Mezentius. The other contestant is the champion Mezentius. All right, let's get to this. Sandbagging Mez all the way. So yes, this week it'll be myself, BitWZan, taking on the champ, Mezentius.
The reigning champ.
The reigning, defending, undisputed champion.
I don't like all this pressure.
This is the introduction you gave yourself last time. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any of this.
So, I will be handing things off to Secret Kittty, who will be letting us know what questions we'll be doing this week. Kitty?
All right. So, do you want to go one at a time or both of them, and then we start with one?
Yeah, you can let them know what both questions are, if anything, and then we'll just start with the first one.
Okay, so the first one's going to be, what is the best battle scene in a movie ever, and why? And the second question's going to be, what's the best villain, the best female villain in a video game? So we'll start off with the, oh, I need a timer, huh?
Yes. Also joining us in the crowd too. I didn't mention that. Also joining us in audience here. We have an audience member for the first time. One of these, and that's Minister E, creeping in the ether.
All in the background. Yeah.
I'll leave it up to Kitty if she wants to dip into the audience pool there for an opinion or something like that.
That's right. That's what I'm gonna do. Like if I feel conflicted, I have a cabinet to go to.
Oh, that sounds like work though.
All right. So
yeah,
I guess let's start. So is it like a 3-minute intro, right? And then 10-minute back and forth?
It's 3-minute intros or 2-minute opening statements for both players, and then it's gonna be the 10-minute back and forth.
All right. So who's gonna go first? Is it a coin flip, or should we go with Zan because you are
the challenger? It's up to you.
You can flip a coin
if you want to do it that way,
and just pick one.
Because Mez is the champ, so or you can you can let Mez decide since he's the champ. That's the champion's advantage. That I think we decided last time, right? Was he gets to decide whether or not he wants to go first or second.
It's all up to the moderator, I guess.
Okay.
Do you guys have a coin? I'm gonna go with E. Do you have a coin?
Yes, I do. I just flipped, and Mez will go first. There we go.
Perfect. I'm so glad you were here.
He didn't even ask anybody. There's things
it was a mental.
He decided for us.
Yep, it was a mental coin.
Okay.
Nope. Really fast.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was all decided.
All right. Ready? 3.
Mez is gonna
Which
go
one
first.
are we doing first?
Mez is going first, and we're doing the battle scene first.
Doing battles first.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So for this, I chose what I thought is one of the best single shot fight scenes ever, and that's the scene from Old Boy. Most people remember it as the hallway scene from Old Boy, where it was a one-take fight scene of the main character going through this hallway and fighting off all the enemies, and it was shot from the side in a single take with him fighting the Hammer Gang. This is like probably one of the best cinematically shot fight scenes because of, one, the coordination it took for the choreography for doing all of that, and the fact that it had to be done in one shot, where it wasn't cutaways, it wasn't like fake angles, it wasn't anything like no kind of a trickery. They had to do it right for that shot and get it done. And this was a fight scene that actually was so well regarded by people in the film community that is often actually emulated in other movies and TV shows as inspiration for what a good fight scene should look like, and how people should go toward these actual kind of fight scenes. Like if you saw the TV show Daredevil, like that hallway scene was inspired by Old Boy. I'm sure there's tons of other TV shows and directors and that were inspired by this one fight scene that everyone can see was done so well that it was kind of seen as one of the best ever to be done on film. And I have to say, I agree. And for that reason, I think it is one of the best battle scenes in a movie. And that's it.
Alright, that was 2 minutes.
Oh, he went longer this time.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, wasn't it like 1:30 last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
That's always what we
Took
get.
slower.
Alright.
Took my time this time.
Alright. Zan, you ready?
Of course.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I chose for the best battle scene is going to be come from the Lord of the Rings Battle for Helm's Deep in the Two Towers movie. So not only is this one of the best battle scenes in probably modern movie cinema, to include all the makeup for the thousands of extras that were included in there, the good choreography, the awesome music. This is like one of the most highly regarded battle scenes that was also emulated, because if you look at this battle scene, so many movies after this tried its very best to replicate this whole like feel of this big battle. Like the mid 2000s was filled with like crappy fantasy sci-fi epic films trying to fit in a battle as grand as this one, but they couldn't even done it better. This battle is something people still love to watch, and was arguably the best movie in the trilogy. But also what I think makes this battle scene the best is the significance of the fight. It's not just some throwaway fight scene in a hallway that was added to make the hero look like a badass. The significance of this fight means more to the movie itself, not just to the whole genre of the film, but to the movie inside of the movie itself. This fight is about a stand of a group of humans that have to make this. This movie is about a group of humans who have to make a stand against this dark force that might kill everyone if they had no chance of winning, you know. And then it draws inspiration where you have the elves come and help them. You have the little banter with Legolas and Gimli in the midst of it. The direness of when the wall is breached, and then like the last minute heroics of when Gandalf comes in riding with the morning sun and all that stuff. It just makes that stuff much more epic for it. You also get that feeling of anticipation and excitement when leading up to the battle, when everybody's like at Helm's Deep, the orcs are at Helm's Deep, and they're just pounding their chests, and everybody's just waiting, and the rain's coming down. That kind of stuff, man, it gives you like goosebumps, you know? So I think for that reason, this battle for Helm's Deep in the Two Towers is probably one of the best battle scenes in movie cinema. That's it.
Alright, 2 minutes. Alright, let me reset it. Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so yeah, it's like, I can't believe you would call that like just a throwaway fight scene and not it having no significance of him going back to the fighting through the prison he was held for 15 years. It's like
that wasn't the prison he was held in.
That
wasn't the prison he was held in.
It
was okay, yes, but the whole thing. What I mean about it being a throwaway fight scene is that if you took that fight scene out of the movie, or you'd made it less people, then it wouldn't be any much more like significant. It would be just it wouldn't matter in the whole scene of the movie. Like I say it's a throwaway because he doesn't fight again. He never fought before the movie. It just literally was added in there to make him look like a badass, which is a thing that happens in a lot of Asian cinemas, where they add these fight scenes that are really well executed. They're done. They're really well. I'm not going to take that away from it, but it's not significant to the movie. Like the dude, it goes crazy because like not only does the dude kick all these people's asses and stuff like that, it kind of like for me draws away from the movie because it was this whole real gritty movie until he turns into a superhero where he's getting his ass beat by 20 people but comes out on top. He gets stabbed in the back and has no problem with it. Like he shrugs it off like it's no big deal. Like it kind of takes you out of the movie a bit, where it's like, okay, is this guy a superhero? Like what are we dealing with here? You know? And like I say, if you took that scene out the movie, it wouldn't make it any more different to the story.
How does the Battle for Helm's Deep affect the main story of the voyage for the Fellowship?
What are you?
Does that get them get to the ring towards Mordor any faster? That scene didn't need to be there. That was a side story for them. It didn't affect their main quest.
Everything that those guys were
all.
doing was set as a distraction for Frodo and Sam. That's the whole point of it. That's why they, like, even in the Return of the King, they do the same thing again.
Yeah,
they don't know where the ring is at.
That means
the orcs don't know where the ring is at. They think it's with these hobbits.
To be there. If the main
Yes,
if
because
the main thing is Frodo and Sam, that means that part of the battle.
But
it was
did
there
you forget?
for the
Did you
cinematic
forget the whole
effect of it.
plan of this stuff? Like the orcs knew that the rings were where hobbits, but they didn't know which hobbits were. So Pippin and Merry were there and stuff like that, and they set the scene where they were trying to distract them with another battle and stuff like that. So the orcs were coming to get the ring where they thought the ring was at, in with these guys. I forgot the name of the place now that they were at. And then they eventually had to go to Helm's Deep. No, not Helm's Deep. I mean, like the original place that they were at. Like Rohan, I think. Yeah, Rohan. They were coming to Rohan, so then they retreated to Helm's Deep to fight them there. The orcs and Sauron and those guys like that, they were coming to get the ring. They didn't know where the ring was at. That's the whole point of the fight. That's the significance of that fight.
The fight didn't matter towards the journey of Frodo and Sam.
But it mattered to the journey, but it's significant to the movie and to the characters in the movies. Like, and
it was
maybe not those two characters, but it mattered
to
characters in that movie. It mattered to Aragorn. It mattered to Legolas, to Gimli. It mattered to Gandalf. It matters to all those people that they were defending, and the fact that the guy who was
like that old boy scene was there just to have a fight, and then not say the same thing for the Lord of the Rings one. It was there for they can have that great, grandiose fight. That's all it was.
No, it was not. I mean, it served significance to the plot because they were trying to eliminate humans. This was a stand humans were taking against these forces. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, if you would have added him, like the old boy guy, I forgot his name, Odeso. If he would just go, or Josh Brolin, because you never specified which one you did anyway, so it could be Josh Brolin.
Come on, that's not even.
It could be Josh Brolin we're talking about here.
No, we're talking about the original.
I'm gonna go off of Josh Brolin because you never said it was a Korean version. So Josh Brolin's one, like, it's weird.
The Korean one is the one that everyone knows that was emulated.
Do we?
That's the one that was.
Do we?
Yes.
Does everyone know that?
Yes.
I wonder. We have audience members here. I wonder if they would know that. But
It was obviously emulated if it was made into an American version.
So, but you didn't specify that. But okay, Odesu,
okay.
If he would have just gone and killed that one guy and tortured that one guy with the hammer or something like that, it wouldn't have made any much more difference if he was battling the 20 other guys. It wouldn't have mattered. Like, it was literally just added in there to make him look like a badass, to have this cool fight scene. That's it, man. Like,
yeah, because it was showing what he was doing for the 15 years, where that 15 years he was preparing, using that time to actually train.
Okay, but he did, and then
that
like
showed that during that 15 years, well, he didn't know anything in the beginning, because in the beginning he got just kidnapped. During that 15 years, he spent training, and now he can go through these 20 people that were part of a gang.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he wasn't bitten by a radioactive spider in that room either, where he can survive stab wounds and
he
beats
spent
to the
15
head.
years training.
I don't care if you there's athletes who train for longer times than that can't deal with the things he did. Come on, man. Like, don't be naive in that sense. Like, that scene it was added in there to
the whole
make
point
it
of
cool.
it was like that he had. Yeah,
and if you watch, you know that guy,
and the same thing with Lord of the Rings.
It wasn't
everything
in
movies is movies is made to make something look cool. That's the point of a movie.
No, it has significant impact to the actual movie itself as well.
They could have told you that story off screen and still had that same impact.
Oh,
that doesn't
shit.
matter.
Are you serious? Are you
that
serious?
Doesn't matter.
You're telling me that
the whole point
Sam,
want you to see
Sam
it
and
looks
Frodo would
cool.
be like, hey, did you guys hear that they had this epic battle at Helm's Deep? It would have been the same thing? Are you serious? Then if
it would have served the same
purpose
purpose towards the plot.
No, you're reaching right now. That is crazy. Are you
That would have
crazy?
served the same exact purpose
you are
to the
reaching
plot.
right
you
now.
Seeing it is something different. It adds something different to it, yes. But it doesn't mean it adds anything more to the plot.
It does, because they're serving as a distraction for the hobbits. They don't
could
know.
all happen off screen. That's not the point.
What?
The point?
How could a battle like that happen off screen?
The point.
And you're telling me that yours is more? It's much more significant to his plot where you didn't need those 20 people. It could have been one guy. It could have been a one-on-one battle. It could have been just like him dealing with the guy who's dealing with the locks. That's it. And you would have had the same impact.
A gang to get to his point. It's showing that he's suffering more through this gang to get to this one person because he made him suffer so much.
He already got the one person. He already had the one person and stuff like that.
No, he got the one person at the end.
He was trying to make his way out.
Yeah, he was going.
He was
no,
escaping.
He was making his way back in to kill the guy who was torturing him.
No, I think you got that backwards. And if I'm wrong, then I'll have to look back at it. But I remember it's him. Because he starts off the scene by giving those guys. If I remember correctly, he asked the people like, "Hey, who here is a blood type AB or something like that?" And then he throws them up to them and say, "Hey, he needs blood, so get him away." And then two gang members take him away, and then he's trying to fight his way to escape. If I'm wrong on that, then I'll take back what I say. But I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen that movie 1,000 times like I have, that's what happened. He had already caught the guy and was making his way back out. So the scene was already done. If the scene would have ended there, it wouldn't make any difference to the plot. I'm telling you, I've seen that movie. I have that movie. I've seen that movie a ton. And I'm telling you that he got the guy first, and it was trying to make his way out. If the scene had ended after he already caught the guy, having that big fight scene wouldn't have been needed. Nobody would have missed it. It would have been like, something else should have happened there. Like, no. Cutting away a big epic battle, like from the Lord of the Rings, would have had a major more impact to that movie than if you lost the fight from Oldboy.
They just had to fill the time to fill 3 movies.
Just having somebody say, hey, did you guys hear that? Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and Gandalf, 4 out of the 7 main characters in this movie had an epic fight scene, but we don't need to know. We don't need to see it. Come on, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know it. They were main characters. They were not side characters. Those were main characters in that movie.
The point is, it's on screen for you to see it. So saying that it didn't matter for it to happen is pointless. It's
not pointless because I'm talking about the significance of the movie of the fight scene to the plot as well, to the movie. Not just that it was added in there so it can look cool and badass. I'm talking about the significance inside the plot itself. It's not needed. It is not needed.
They each had significance. Yes, they did.
No, it's not. It's not significant. It's not a needed portion of the thing. In the Lord of the Rings, that scene is pivotal to that movie.
I would
Without it,
say
it's nothing.
The original point of me picking this was that the fact that this fight scene is actually influential towards other.
So is the Lord of the Rings
on
one.
TV.
How many
what directors had said they were influenced by that scene?
So many. Like how many stupid what is it? Like all these like I said, it had like King Arthur. It had what the hell else was
it? And they specifically said, it was influenced by Lord of the Rings.
You can look at it and say and be like, look, this.
You're inferring that. The director has never said that, has he?
Oh, well, okay, that's a fair point. They're never gonna admit that. But looking at the battles, you can clearly tell that this was like, okay, we need to look at Chronicles of Narnia, all that stuff like that. Like, come on,
I've seen people. There have been directors who straight out said they were influenced by the fight scene in Oldboy.
Who? Other than Daredevil? That's all you got?
Yeah.
That's it?
No, there's been other people that said.
But you can't name them. I can say the same thing. Like, you're not naming them. And who's to say that? I mean, like, you look at the one from Daredevil. I mean, yeah, it drew inspiration from Oldboy, but some people say that episode 2 fight scene was probably better choreographed and more significant to the plot of that show than Oldboy was.
That's not even true.
That's not even true. Why? Because you want to win? Why?
It
actually has significance to the plot.
You went in and saved some kid. Had no sense to the plot.
That's 10 minutes, guy.
Okay.
Got heated.
I know.
Well, it's gonna be between me and Zan. It's gonna happen.
It's always like this.
Alright, so you guys both made some really good points. You know, like, I definitely see that the Daredevil fight scene came from, I've never seen Oldboy, but I watched the scenes before just to make sure, like, I know what you guys are talking about. So I see that influence. And then he did get stabbed, and I was like, what is that sticking out of his back? Because he never acknowledged it. I was so confused. But Minister, have you seen Oldboy?
I've seen that very clip
because
I was told about it before, but I never saw the entire movie. But I did see that clip, and that fight scene was pretty epic.
Okay,
it definitely influenced Daredevil.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from like the grittiness of them getting tired and stuff. But anyways, and it was really cool. And then the Lord of the Rings one, yeah, that's the one that won, because like when I watch those kind of scenes, it like gives me a feeling, you know, like when I watch a lot of other battle scenes from like Braveheart and like a bunch of other war movies I watch, I get the same feeling. So like that's what I was after, and so that's the one that I won. From like the score and how it was like shot, and like the epicness of like he was like Zan was saying, like humans fighting to like they were about to die. So yeah, that's the one that won for me.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
but that other one is
Yeah.
really good too.
Oh man,
It is.
my throat hurts.
I mean,
My
like
throat hurts from screaming.
You guys were
What's
yelling
that?
really.
I said my throat hurts
Yeah,
from
you guys
screaming.
were
Oh,
going
yeah.
with that. I was like, man, I was like, Secret Kitty is about to hit the gong down right now. Put a stop to this thing. They're going crazy.
I'm starting to see like the strategies, and a lot of people's like picking stuff that I like.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
I know you're the one that told me about
making me-
Old Boy.
Yeah, and making me fight against it and stuff like that. Because Old Boy is like one of my favorite movies as well.
Oh man, that was good. Good
man.
choice, Miz.
Yeah, like I picked that one. Then when you said Lord of the Rings, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
that was
shit.
that was a good pick. I forgot about that movie. I was
Yeah.
like, that was I think the only one I considered a good movie, to be honest.
And they've had a couple of good battle scenes to pick from, and that was probably the best.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It
thought
was-
you
They've had-
remember when she asked that question initially, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought you were gonna go with that one. Because if you would have gone with that
It
one,
didn't-
I was gonna go with
it
the
didn't
Raid
even-
Redemption battle scene.
Ooh.
It didn't even like cross my mind. Like I didn't even think about it until you said it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then like that's also my jam, you know, like fantasy stuff. So
yeah.
yeah. Well, that was good. All right, you guys ready for the second one?
Yes.
Oh, we ready
Okay,
for the second one.
Minister, you got a coin to flip, or how
Oh,
do you do?
oh,
No,
no,
it's
gonna
the
be
opposite
Sam
now.
now.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay, so go ahead. Start.
Okay, so this question is what the best video game female villain, and
Yes.
are you gonna count me in?
Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna restart your time because I should have said that. All right, go ahead.
Or... Okay, so my pick for best video game female villain is the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Of course.
Now, you want to talk about big bads and female villains, then you go to the top. And the top for this is the boss, a.k.a. the Joy, a.k.a. Mercury Lady, a.k.a. Legendary Soldier, and a.k.a. the Mother of Special Forces. Dog, she's this female villain all little female villains aspire to be. She's probably one of the most deeply well-written video game antagonists ever. Because her story it means something not only to the game, but to the series of Metal Gear in general. She was a highly trained special forces. She was like a badass soldier who in almost every interaction with Naked Snake, she kind of just hand waves him away and bullies him down and pushes him away so easily that you as the player, you begin to wonder how the hell are you going to beat this character in the end? Because you know it's coming. She was so cool that she developed the stylized fighting style CQC, which Snake uses still to this day. So she inspired that character to be the way he is. She founded her own Cobra unit, which had villains like from that game, with like the Pain, the Fear, the N, the Fury, and the Sorrow. And all of these men all had these cool like special abilities and like stuff like that, but they all followed her. No matter what abilities or powers or anything they all had, they followed her. She was the boss. She was the leader, and she had nothing else than she was just a good fighter, a good soldier, and they still followed her. Like I said, she had no special powers like a lot of these guys. She was just that badass that they had to follow her. For much of the game, she does so much subtle stuff too that you kind of look back in hindsight and say, God damn, she really is that good. You know, it took all the experience that Snake had garnered throughout the game in order for him to even beat her and inherit the title Big Boss, which is obviously from her. I'm kind of being vague because I don't want to spoil you a lot of this game because I think the storyline for this game is like one of the best ones, and she's a main portion of that reason for it. So it kind of sucks, but trust me when I say that she is included in probably one of the best endings for a video game ever. And also the fight scene that she's in, the best end game fight scene where you're like in this field of white flowers and you have like 10 minutes to beat her because she had like notified these Russians of where you're at and they're going to bomb the hell out of the place you're going to be at. So your choice is either kill her or you both die. And she gives you, that's the option that she leaves you with. And you have to battle her in that field, and that nice little thing with cool music going on and stuff like that. It just makes it for one of the best endgame fight scenes I've ever seen. But that was my pick. Boss.
Alright, that's 2:45. Alright, let me reset. Alright, Mez. You ready?
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's start.
All right. So the person I picked was Alma from Fear, and anyone who played this game, you know, Alma is the character that was basically tortured throughout. In the backstory, was tortured because of psionic powers, and then linked herself to one of the villains, and her whole story throughout the whole thing is that she's basically trying to get revenge on the company that tortured her and ended up killing her, and has her like basically her two kids are like the main characters in this game, who one has her in his mind the whole time, and the other one she didn't even know was his kid, 'cause she had him when she was 15 and she was in a coma. So this whole time, like, her backstory is that she was been tortured and tested and prodded, and all of these things were done to her because they knew her to have like psionic powers. And at a certain point, she just started intentionally failing tests to make him think that she didn't, because she just wanted to get out of this whole testing ground. And when she started becoming violent and killing people, they eventually put her in a coma and kind of like try to clone her, which led to them having these two kind of children in that created in the main game. And then the whole point is kind of her trying to get redemption and kill everyone that wronged her throughout this whole, like, her whole backstory. And she kind of just like uses one of those people to just massacre everyone in that company that kind of just fucked her over for all her life and ended up killing her and just turning her into this vengeful spirit to go and kill everyone. And that's it.
Alright. It's 2 minutes. Alright. Alright, you ready for the debate?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
You want me to go first this time, Ez?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Is it on?
Yeah.
Katie?
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right, so it seems like Mez just kind of reached into the antagonist grab bag and pulled out Alma from Fear, because there isn't much anything else about her that's interesting. Like, well, she has this very basic storyline of being born with psychic powers for reasons. Like, there's no reason why. Literally, the description of the game states she's the reasons are never revealed. To a mom who died during labor, and her dad is an employee of the organization that wants to utilize her abilities. Blah, blah, blah. How many times have we heard this story? How does this make her the best video game villain? This is so similar to so many games that is just borders on boring. Like Resident Evil, Beyond Two Souls, Indigo Prophecy, Silent Hill. They all have the same plot. So what makes this character any more different than them? Or any more interesting than them?
Well, but in the end, like, she actually is a villain in the game. When you consider the boss, she, like, you're kind of going against her, but in the point of the story, she's not necessarily an antagonist.
She is throughout the whole entire game. Yes, she is. She fights you like an antagonist.
But not in reference to the story, she isn't. Then, like, I know you
as far as anybody knows, she is seen.
Not anyone that played the game.
But as far as anybody knows, in the world of the game, she is a villain. In the world of that game, she is a villain.
I'm gonna go through this and assuming that anyone who knows the game has played it, and anyone who's played the game or wants to play the game has played it already, because it's an old game.
Okay.
It's Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it came out 2006, I think. Yeah, 2006 or 2005.
So, and then in the game, it turned out like, she's actually someone, like, you have to kill her at the end because she has to die because she's a double agent.
Okay.
So she's still working for the United States. She's not a villain. She's still working for you.
She was seen as
to
a
get
villain
you to that point.
To that, when you're there, even as Naked Snake the character still believes that she is a villain. He doesn't find out until later on that she was a double agent. You don't find out until later on by that point she's already dead. So it doesn't make any difference to it. The fact that she is a villain
so she
to
dies,
you.
But
she doesn't die a hero. She dies a villain.
After her death, she's seen as a hero
by no one.
Well,
by Snake. That's it. That's the only
why he
one.
took up the mantle of Big Boss.
He's the only one that did that, and he's the only one that sees that, and nobody else is gonna know.
You and the character.
To you, when you get to that point in that game, she is a villain to you. You're just talking semantics because your
But
character is so boring. You have no defense.
In the grand scheme,
You have no defense for your character.
Not an antagonist.
So you're talking semantics right now. That's it. You have
The whole point of it.
What? Because she's defined as a villain. That's your big argument for it. That's it. You could have pulled anybody. You could have pulled anybody. You could have pulled the little girl. Like the whole trope of the creepy child thing is so boring too. It doesn't even have to factor into video games. You have the Omen, Stranger Things, like Firefly. They all have that same stuff. Like, that same kind of character trope of creepy child. She has psychic powers and blah blah blah. There's no. That doesn't like.
Well, the whole point
nothing
is
like that.
She's going into this because she wants vengeance.
Oh yeah,
That's
wow, that's so interesting. That's an interesting, like, there's no arc to this person. It's just the same. That's interesting. Like, no one has a character arc like Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. It's a well-crafted story written. We're probably one of those renowned game storytellers in history, Hideo Kojima. Whereas Alma is an uninteresting character in just a really well-done game. That's it. Like, having some dark shit happen to you does not an interesting character make. Does not an interesting character make. I'm sorry.
Give me a good backstory and have a reason to do stuff. That doesn't make you an interesting character.
Not one that's so freaking tried and like that's so overdone and overplayed all the time that it's just, like I said, borders on boring. Like this is like that storyline has been done already. Like, why you could have easily replaced this girl with the Resident Evil girl. Or if you would have just told, like, if you were explaining this whole thing, you'd be like, yeah, that's the character from Resident Evil. Freaking E and Kitty wouldn't have been blinked an eye. I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we would have believed that. Because that storyline, that trope is so played out, man. It's nothing interesting about it. Your defense is attacking Boss with semantics. That's it. Because Boss is obviously the much more superior villain.
But she's not a villain.
She is. Because the last 30 seconds of the game say she was a double agent, that does not take away the fact that she was a villain to you throughout that whole game.
It makes you see the game in a whole different way.
But she still died in the world of the game.
In the whole time,
to that point, she's still a villain to you.
But when you look back at the game, you see like the whole time she's just training your character to like overtake her.
No, because she would have killed him if she had the chance. Her whole point was to make somebody better than her, to take over. But she would have killed him. And if she didn't, why did she leave her cronies to go face him? She had people from the Krober unit trying to attack him. If she was trying to make him survive, she wouldn't have set them up that way.
Because she trained him. She knew he was he was able to do it. That was the whole point of her training him to do that. But
she still was seen as a villain because if he would have died, then she would have been like, okay, then he wasn't worthy of it, and she would have gone to somebody else. Saying that because she was training him, and she was she knew that he was gonna make it through. Like that, come on, that's an argument that's not gonna be made for this person because she still would have let him die and been like, okay, then he wasn't the one. That's what villains do. The Sith are based all around that. Are you gonna call them good guys too? Come on, man. That's it. That's it. Other than semantics, you got nothing else here. You got nothing. You can't even defend your own girl. You got nothing else to bring to the table because I know that character has nothing interesting about her. Alma, it's a good game. Fear's a good game, but the storyline there's nothing there to be like, yo, wow, this is such an interesting storyline. No.
I think
there's nothing there,
guys.
Yeah, I think I'm going to concede on this one.
Okay.
No, don't concede, Mez. Don't.
I have to concede.
Yeah.
Zan picked a good one, but that was a good fight, though, with saying that she's not a real villain.
Are you guys done then?
Yeah.
Yes, if he says he's conceding, yeah.
I will put in another pick for Mez. Iris from Mega Man X4. And it's
he's not a Mega Man dude though.
I've known him.
I'll tell it real quick and easy because she's just a backstory character at first. She's just an ally and a love interest of Zero, and you end up killing her brother in a fight when she has an argument with you not to fight him. You go to the battle scene or the boss area expecting to fight a boss, and you see her standing there. She doesn't have weapons, but she's in the boss arena, and then she screams out, "Forgive me, Zero," and puts on an exosuit that X usually puts on to run through a stage and fights you with it. That is the best female villain, right there. There you go, Mez. No, I'll put that in there for Mez.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
It was simple, but it shocked everybody
Oh.
that played the game. Because my jaw dropped. I was like,
I never heard about it. I never hear about X4 or Iris being one of the major villains when I hear about Mega Man or anything like that. So
she's the first boss that killed me in that game badly, too. So. But it was epic. There you go, Mez. Mez nominated me to pick that for just in case. You picked the boss. How you gonna pick the boss, man?
God.
That game has too much
boss,
emotions.
baby.
It's too much emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boss.
I wish you hadn't conceded though, because like, I don't know that much about the boss, so I was like, and then you weren't gonna tell me because you're like, I don't want to spoil it. I was like, well, I don't know anything, so it would have been easier for you.
But then
And
Mez
then-
did it anyway, so I was just like, okay, well, he already let the
Yeah.
cat out of the bag, so.
Yeah, and then I love a good vengeance story in horror. I like horror too, so.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You
it-
could
it
have
was-
tried
it
a
was-
little harder.
It was hard because like the boss is
Yeah,
such a good
I immediately
character.
said, "Damn, Zan." Once you said the
Yeah.
boss, it's like, damn, that's a rough
Did you
one.
do you not
Like-
do you not remember like Mez's reaction when I said the boss in in the
'Cause,
Yeah.
we put this in. We put this into like the chat. Like we like Kitty gave us the other questions and we put into the chat who our answers are gonna be.
Yeah.
And as soon as Zan put in the boss, I was just like, "Fuck!"
all you saw was a long fuck. Game over.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I think
could've-
Kitty just wanted to use her tiebreaker, so she's like disappointed right now.
You can use a
Yeah, a little
tiebreaker
bit.
because Mez won with the nomination of Iris as a backup.
Oh, yeah.
We
That
can
can't
use
count. We don't have no last. We're gonna be throwing this whole debate thing out of order then if
That's what
we're
the
throwing
audience
in
is
last
here
minute
for.
ringers like this.
I really did want to do my
You can do it anyway.
my tiebreaker.
You can
Yeah.
save it.
I'm gonna
You
save
can save it
it.
for next time.
Save it.
Next time is the time.
Next time there's actual tie. You know how many tiebreakers I have in the barrel that I'm like waiting to use too?
Oh.
Nah, use it
That's
up.
so
Use it
funny.
up. I want to hear the tie. I want to
Man,
hear
that's
the
like,
tiebreaker.
that was actually a really tough question though. Like the female villains.
Female villains.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Iris, baby.
There was a couple of them. Boss was the first one that
Yeah.
came to my mind. And then I was thinking, I was like, okay, I have the boss. But I was like, is there anybody better? And I'm like looking around, like, okay, I know.
Iris.
Like, yeah, this boss, this person. But I'm like, you know what? If the boss is the first person that came to my mind, then it's probably the first one that came to his. And it's probably the first one that comes to a lot of people. So I'm just going to say it.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing.
It's like the boss is the first one that came to mind, and then I had just like other one like the one I asked about before that was kind of disqualified was GLaDOS
Yeah.
from Portal.
That would have been a good one, too.
And I feel like that would have been a good villain, but like it wasn't seen as a female villain, so I understand why. But like that was one of those things I'm like, the boss was in my mind, but so was GLaDOS and so was Mother Brain. But I'm like,
Mother Brain,
I feel
yeah.
like I couldn't use those. I'm like, if I was thinking like if I can't use GLaDOS, I probably can't use Mother Brain. So I was like, the boss is gonna be my next pick. And right
Kitty
before I
would
could type it out, Zan typed it. I'm like, fuck.
I mean, if you would have said Mother Brain, Kitty would probably have to look it up to see it because GLaDOS is an AI, so that's why it was clearly disqualified. Like Mother Brain,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an AI, like that's an alien thing.
Where's
So
Mother Brain?
that's
from-
Metroid from
Metroid.
Metroid.
And continuing my ways, trying to mess with Zan to argue against things he likes.
Yeah.
But Mez won, though, because he picked Iris as a backup.
Minister, he's trying to push it.
You gotta
He's trying to
understand.
push it
You
still.
gotta understand. Here's the thing. Just imagine
Minister's trying to push this.
Imagine, that character in a movie that's just in the background and she's just a helper. She doesn't do anything, and then the main character fights her brother and kills him, and you think there's going to be no consequence. And at the end of the movie, this no-name character with no abilities shows up and says, well, I'm going to use this armor that you guys usually use when you got to fight off a whole bunch of people. I'm going to kill you with it. And becomes the most epic fight ever. That is a good bad guy right there. Best female bad guy. Good job, Mez. Let's go to the tiebreaker.
Mez, do you
You
remember
really
what
want to hear
game?
this tiebreaker?
I want to hear
Do you remember what Mez? Do you remember what game that character was from?
What character?
The one he's promoting, Iris.
Iris?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mega Man
What was
X4.
it, Mega Man
Yeah,
X4?
Okay. I wanted to see. I'm like, does he even remember that?
Of course
one?
he
'Cause,
does.
Mez does not. I don't even think Mez had even
No,
played
I
a
only
Mega
know
Man
it
game.
because Minister said it.
man.
I never played that game.
Just look it up on YouTube, man. The scream, "Forgive me, Zero." It makes your heart pound. Like, what is going on? What is she doing? Why? Is
I mean,
she
it's up
fighting
to
me?
you, Kitty, if you wanna spoil your tiebreaker question, because you could use it for another one.
We
Yeah,
can
I
make
was just
more.
gonna save it.
No. After
Okay,
Sam
then-
gave that
Alright.
terrible tiebreaker to me, I want to hear some good ones.
We had a couple other tiebreakers that came out before, and they weren't math related. Not all of them are math related.
Who picks me?
It was just that one question.
I think it would be hard for you guys,
hmm
but
I'm interested too, but it didn't get there. But okay, that is gonna do it then. That's it. Against Minister's wishes and the fact that
Damn it.
he's trying to put in Iris from Mega Man X4, the moderator has made her decision and has awarded me the new champion of Capture the Point.
Wait, isn't it tied up?
So, well, I mean, it is, I guess.
Oh.
Well, I don't know because I kind of lost track of what the records were. I know this is Mez's
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
loss.
our records are just out of whack.
Yeah, I know I've lost once, which was to him, and now he's lost once. So
Yeah, that's tied up.
So that means there's got to be a rubber match in the future.
So that means
I mean,
you need
we
to
can
do a
do it that way.
tiebreaker to see who's champion. Secret
No,
Kitty.
no,
it can't.
let's
It has
roll the
that has to be a
tiebreaker.
whole other debate.
all right. For ultimate champion, then you want the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Oh,
if Mez agrees,
Puts
then
it on the line.
and that'll be like okay, that then
Let's do
Let's
it.
do
'Cause
it.
I feel like everyone wants
let's
it
do
at
it
this
then.
point
All right,
now.
let's do it.
All right.
So if Mez wins, then it's just a tie. If I win, then I take over the championship.
Sure. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
I think. Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get my.
I have to
timer.
gain something from this. Like,
I gotta get my timer because I also need to keep track of what you guys say. So hold on.
this
Oh,
is an
damn.
interesting tiebreaker. It's
See,
not
this
just
is
a
what I was
buzzing.
waiting for.
This is more in depth
Yeah,
to this
I
one.
thought it was gonna be like a buzzing.
If you don't
kinda
get
thing.
this
It's not.
right, you will fall into the pit.
No, it's a it's a timed one. Okay.
Okay.
You have 1 minute to name
1 minute.
as many flowers as you can.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
Yes, I knew it was worth it.
Wait, does it matter who goes first? Like, who do we have to
Oh
say
yeah.
something?
All right. Who's defending?
Mez is defending now. I don't know because
Yeah.
like now I guess it's tied.
All right. Nez, you're gonna go first.
Shit. 1 minute
God.
too?
All right.
1 minute?
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
That's a long time.
A rose, tulip, daffodil. Oh God, this is gonna...
That's too much
about
time,
this.
Kitty. I think.
Sunflower.
Jesus.
Um.
What does it have to do with video games or movies or anything?
Zed, be
A
quiet.
lily.
These are my strong points. I don't know about
That's
nature.
gonna go nothing.
Oh my God. Ah.
Is that it? You gonna stop?
can't-
You got 20
I-
seconds.
I mean, I think that's more than enough to be honest. I don't know.
You beat Zed already.
I
Zed is not
can't.
gonna be able to name what. A rose.
What did you say again? He said.
You got 10 seconds.
Did you keep track of the
I
ones that he
can't.
said, Kitty?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm gonna need to know that.
A
Alright.
Venus flytrap.
That was
That's
one,
what?
but it was already past your time.
Okay.
Uh,
I didn't know that was.
Like there was a lot of conversation going on during this.
We gave you plenty of time to think, man. You could have chimed in any
Don't
time.
worry, Mez, you got this. I don't think Zed's gonna be able to name much.
Alright. Zed, you
Wait,
ready?
so wait, I just want to make sure, like, to see which ones he said, so I won't repeat it or anything like that. He said, I know you said rose. What else you said, Mez? Daisy?
tulip,
Tulip,
sunflower,
and
daisy.
daisy. And that's it. Because the fly trap, she said,
Well, yeah.
didn't come in. Okay.
He had 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yeah.
4. Where did the 5th one? What was the 5th one then?
I think the 5th one was Daffodil.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You're done, son. I don't know any more flowers.
Daffodil.
Yeah, it's a real thing. All right, Zan, you ready?
Well, shit.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, lilies.
I said that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't even say lilies. I just asked you
I
guys.
did say Lily.
No, you didn't. Then that would have been 6.
He did.
I
say
asked.
We'll
You
count
didn't
it
say.
'cause we
You didn't say
didn't.
lilies. I was paying attention.
Continue.
Lilies. You said that one. So the flytrap one, does that count? Because you said
Yeah,
is
that
that a
counts.
flower?
It
Azaleas.
Yeah.
My azaleas. Azaleas. Shit.
You only need 3 more, and you got 15 seconds.
Damn, that shit went faster than his. Felt like. Yeah, I don't. This is not gonna be good. I don't know the ones. The blue ones. The blue ones.
The golden violet.
I don't know.
They're
Violets.
called violets. I counted it, but you still lost.
Yeah. I don't know.
Zan did not
Any-
disappoint because I know he did not know anything about roses. Neither do I. But that's why it's so funny. When Bez named off like 5 in a row, I was like, "It's a wrap. He won." Because I can't think of anything else. Good pick, Secret Kitty. That worked perfect.
Oh my god.
That was so worth it. That was worth the whole debate right there.
Can't even think of them now. Could have gave me 5 minutes and I would tell you the next one.
It's like a minute. It's like, oh no, you only need 15 seconds for this to be considered right here.
It felt like it was faster than Mez. Mez had like freaking a minute and a half or something
It
like that.
wouldn't have
It felt like.
mattered though. It's like,
Yeah, it wouldn't have
the
mattered.
blue. What you said, the blue ones. We know that it was over. Them blue ones. The ones that
I
look
even counted
orange.
it. I was like, yes, that's a violet. Okay, continue.
Oh man. Good.
There was no way I was gonna get no.
I'm still thinking. I can't think of
No.
more flowers.
Aw.
So you got to be a botanist to have them. You said a Venus flytrap last, and Zan took that one. It was still not enough.
Yeah.
That was entertaining.
That was a great tiebreaker right there.
Oh my god.
It's like whoever went first was going to win. That's how I
Was gonna
figured.
win, yeah. That was it. Whoever went first was gonna be the winner. Cause you're gonna get the top ones. Roses, number 1.
Roses.
Yeah, I knew you guys were gonna go with those two because those are all gifting flowers.
Yeah.
But there's also like birds of paradise. I would have taken variations of lilies too.
That's what I was
I
running
would
to.
have
I was
think
like,
Birds of Paradise was a bird, so I would have.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
I was
I
wondering
didn't- I
that.
didn't
I was
know- I
like,
didn't-
can we like? I don't know. Like, I know that like roses have different names and everything like that. I was like, I don't know. Though I wouldn't have known the names anyway.
Started naming colors. It's like a rose, a white rose.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
a black rose.
anything here. What can I get? I was trying to think of the one you had tattooed. I was like, what the fuck was the name of that one she had? I forgot it.
Poppy, an Iceland
Yeah.
poppy.
That's
There's
the one I was
also a
like-
California poppy.
You could just a
What
poppy.
about
I was trying to
nightshade?
think
Is
of that one.
It is
Word. That's the only one I would have got.
lilacs, lavender
Oh,
is
yeah,
a flower.
I think I would
God
have got
damn
that
it,
one.
yeah.
Lavender. Heard from a movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now he's like, yeah, I would have
Okay.
got.
No,
this
I would.
one.
I would only have 4. I would have still.
Like
I would have
now,
lost
now.
the list too. There's no way I would have named off 5.
As
flowers.
E Googles up flowers and stuff now.
Oh, I would have been
And it's-
googling away, boy.
And it's fall, so mums are in season. And what else? Lily, petunia, pansies.
Oh, petunia. Oh my goodness.
Jeez. What that has to do with video games, movies, or
The
anything?
huge-
I don't
That
know.
has nothing to do
You
I
ever
with
don't
heard
it.
know.
that? That's from a thing in Fantastic Four.
What?
With what?
Petunias. He used to say some phrase.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Petunia. Oh yeah. Petunia is that's what the thing called his wife or whatever.
Wasn't that his aunt?
No, his aunt Petunia. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
buddy.
Aunt
In
Petunia.
Harry Potter, that's her name. That's his
So bef-
aunt's name.
It's like what's funny is like the reason I thought of Flytrap was because of a movie. It was because of Little Shop
There
of
you go.
Horrors.
Oh. Yeah.
Because you said it's like, what does that do with movies? And I thought of movies. I'm like, oh, Little Shop of Horrors. It'd be this Flytrap.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. I just wanted to know what you guys knew, and it was
Mhm.
it was what I
It was not
expected.
much.
Limited knowledge.
Not much at
The
all.
blue flower. 'Cause I thought of that from like Batman Begins. It's like, the blue flower. I don't know what's the name of it, but That's a
Aw.
tough one. But
You
okay.
couldn't think of like the whole thing: roses are red, violets are blue.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn it! I went to a different place. Yeah, I went to like movies. I'm like, is there a movie with flowers in it that I can remember or something like that? And like, yeah, I should have just
I was
kept it
thinking
simple.
of Christopher Walken with the Intercontinental or whatever his name is. He's like, smell these fragrances, lavender, and he's like chloroform. They try to put the chloroform on the camera person.
I remember that one.
Oh man.
right,
But okay
well,
then, dang.
I think it's time to wrap this up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it then. So I guess it's Mez remains the champ then,
Tied
and
up.
we're just tied then. It's tied up. Then Mez has he suffered his first defeat, so that's something at least we can take home.
Arguably, he had to back up Iris.
Oh my
There's
god.
no Iris, man. Iris is another flower, isn't it? God damn
It
it!
is.
Oh
Shit!
No,
man.
that-
That would have helped me instead of him. E. Damn it!
I didn't even know. I didn't even know it.
But okay, well that's gonna do us for here. That's gonna do it for us here at the Ichiban Nonsense Podcast. I'd like to thank Secret Kittty for being a fair, partial judge, even with that flower question. I don't know, but Minister for joining us on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Mezentius, of course, still the champ, and then, of course, myself, the myth, the legend, Big W Zan. So until next time, we have this Capture the Point debate podcast. Not saying goodbye forever, just saying goodbye for now.